Bayang'sukela, bayangisondela. Awula bantwana bangibiza ubhuti Madlisa. Bafuna imali, bafuna ukungitexa. Mabe ngibona bangibiza uDJ Bhuti Madlisa. Bayang'sukela, bayangisondela. Awula bantwana bangibiza ubhuti Madlisa. Bafuna imali, bafuna ukungitexa. Mabe ngibona bangibiza uDJ Bhuti Madlisa. Oh malabi, ima kancane, nothanda imali, esaka nginasisikhathi. Oh my baby, masamba steady, indoda yompedi, ungangicomi ingaka kusheli. Yini ngathi inkinga, ungazongilinga, nothanda imali, ntombazana ngizokudilitha. Yeah, siyakhipha, imali khona, isesikhaleni kodwa ngilahlanga njengo-DJ Clock. Bayang'sukela, bayangisondela. Awula bantwana bangibiza ubhuti Madlisa. Bafuna imali, bafuna ukungitexa. Mabe ngibona bangibiza uDJ Bhuti Madlisa.
Wagwan, Mr. Maps.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. This is 6 Foot Weights. What it do?
It's not the time for the mic check. The mic check should happen before we start recording, my G.
Aye, bro. Me, I'm just, I was rhyming. I was, let's get into the mood, get into the mix of things.
Or like a young foreplay.
Exactly. A bit of foreshadowing, but yes, a bit of lubrication before we enter the thing,
Yeah.
What's that?
Easy, my guy. Easy, like Sunday morning. Wagwan, your end. Everything good. Everything nice.
Everything is sunshine and roses, fam. I mean, work is a bit of a madness at the moment, but other than that, mans can't complain. But yeah, to our ever so faithful listeners, welcome back. It is another episode of 6 Foot Weights. My name is Tubble.
And my name is Senna.
And this is your favorite hour with your favorite cheese boys, and we're back for another week. I think before we even go too far, I just need to address something very, very, very quickly, because there's a lot of I don't know what to say, or rather, I don't have the right words for what I'm trying to describe. But there's a lot of let's go with hullabaloo, if that's the word. Hullabaloo, hannabaloo, something along those lines. All right, fine. There's a lot of wahala surrounding you, Mr. Moore. So yes,
me
when Mr. IP Thursday, when
okay. For the avoidance of doubt.
Yeah.
Again.
So it was good thing, near weekend, and we couldn't find you, and I think we as the listeners, and loved ones, we kind of need answers. And I'll speak for Nat. Shout out to Nat. She was very, very concerned because she was like, "Hey, now ngeba sumlilo food." So there was, and then again, shout out to Kholi as well. She brought a tweet to my attention where there was a lady in I don't know if she was in South Africa. It looked like South Africa. At a wine vineyard, right? Wine farm, or whatever they're called, who got engaged to her best friend, but she didn't show the picture of the best friend. He looked like a similarly built young man like you. So immediately,
okay,
what's going on? So I was very concerned. Kati umfana sechata, and no one is none the wiser. So again, Mr. Moyo, the floor is yours. Where were you?
The floor is mine to do what? I was okay. Okay. I feel like confusion.
Yeah, please clarity.
The story.
Clarity.
Kule story. No, man. I was on leave. I took leave and I went on holiday.
Okay.
So I was basically. That's the long and short of it.
Okay.
To took leave, went on holiday out of town. I went to this place called Nice. It's
called what?
Nice. It's beautiful.
Nice.
It's like, yeah, just on the edge of the Western Cape before you cross over into the Eastern Cape. Yeah, man, it was cool. It was like a holiday. I took leave. Today was actually my first day back at work, so I'm exhausted because I've been just easy the last 4 days, I guess. So I went to Naisna, chill vibes, booked the place, Wagwan, and then I went bungee jumping. Don't tell my parents because, yeah, they would totally freak out. But there's this bridge, right, where you bungee jump, and it's like 216 meters above the ground. It's the highest bungee in
How
Africa.
did that feel?
Dude, that was insane.
Is insane good or insane bad?
So you get to the edge, right? And then, so obviously the whole thing, you're like calming yourself down. So I got to the edge of the thing, and then they sort of help you jump in a push kind of way. And so I jump, and in that moment I was like, fuck, I'm going to die. legit, I was like, yo, I'm going to die, because you're falling so quickly, right? Head first. That doesn't make it better. So you're looking down and you can see where you're falling.
Oh, so your eyes were open.
And I'm like, guys, yeah, my eyes were open. I had my eyes open the whole time. If your eyes are closed, it doesn't really help.
Were you breathing?
Yes.
Interesting.
I was. Do I remember? Anyways,
no, because I've had.
All I remember is
it's a certain. I'm trying to remember what it was, but like it was one of those things where if there's a lot of wind against your face, it is difficult for you to breathe. So that's why I was like, were you breathing, or were you kind of like just there in the moment and like shit was just going crazy? Like what was that experience?
I was probably there in the. All I remember is seeing a white light. Like when I'm not lying. So in front of me was mountains. Below me was the water.
So it's like a Vic Falls type of thing.
Yeah, except it's like a Vic Falls type of thing, except the water is in between mountains. It flows into the ocean. So then I think when I reached the point where it kind of just, I don't know where the rope ends, that's when I saw the white light, because it twists you and you start facing the other way. In that moment, I just saw white.
What do you mean it twists you?
So like once you reach the end of the rope, like after you jump, that whole flinging motion, the slinging motion, when
like the yo-yo type
you're
of thing.
bouncing, right? The yo-yo type thing, yeah, exactly. That moment you spin around sometimes. I think I spun, and then in that moment I just remember seeing a white light. I was probably looking at the water, and it just looked incredibly bright at the speed with which I was falling. But for like 1 second, I swear it was just like, but it was great. Like the feeling afterwards, your dog's untouched.
So
the feeling afterwards
when you're now
is
hanging,
really
they pull you back up.
Yeah, they pull you back up, and then there's actually a guy who's just constantly like hanging, who will then come around and then attach himself to you, and then the machine will just pull you back up.
So he'll come down. He'll come
down to get you.
Okay.
But he's just always there, like full time, like just hanging around. So yeah, man, all in all, it was dope. It was dope. So it's scary when you're falling, and then afterwards you just feel like you're invincible. I remember in that moment I felt
What made you want to bungee jump?
So I'm not sure if you remember, but I went earlier on in the year
with the pal.
It was with my dad. Yeah, he wouldn't let me. He was like, no. So my dad said no. I'm like, okay, sharp, cool. I'm gonna I'm gonna come back. So I remember posting the bridge. I'm not sure if you
Yeah.
remember that status. I posted the bridge. I'm like, highest bungee in the world type
Mm-hmm.
of thing. And then one of my friends is like, we should do it. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Azish. And then planned, went, did it.
Okay. Well, for the super sleuths out there, I won't point out. Senna slipped up, but I won't point it out. We'll keep it moving. We will keep it moving. But Mr. Moyo, don't go MIA like that again. We're very concerned on the internet here.
No, I was online. I was online offline.
No, you're definitely offline because I was like, boy, say chatty. I was shook, bro. I was like, it's a lot going on. You know, if you went from being single to engaged, not even in a relationship, to engaged. You know, I mean, maybe you're one of those serious people who's tweeting with you, I've got no more talking stages left in me. You know, like. We're going straight into the things, you know, Maldives, wedding invite, wonke, you know, you want it all. So congratulations, if you are engaged, congratulations to you, my brother. You know.
Tell what you think I'd not tell you.
You never know, man. You never know. But I'm happy for you. I really am happy for you. And I'm excited for the future. Anyway, right. I don't have anything from housekeeping other than the standard YouTube page. Go to YouTube, search 6 Foot Weights, subscribe. Content is coming. We promise. It's around the corner. Don't worry about it. We got you. And also big shout out and thank you again to Natasha. She came through. She hung out with the Cheese Boys. If you're listening to this episode and you haven't heard the last one, stop, go back, listen to it, because you know she was very she opened up and she was very vulnerable. She put herself out there, and you know, like, again, it was really fun spending some time laughing, talking, everything. I think we went through every serious, you know, proper chats, jokes, bands, everything. So amazing episode. You know, I don't know if I'll ever be able to watch Bananas in Pajamas again
without laughing.
Because besties must fall. That's it from my side.
No, that's it. Special thanks to Nat for coming through last week. Really appreciate it. Her stories are lit. And yeah, man, I think to be honest, listening back to the podcast, like, I always listen to it the Friday it drops. The first few hours of my day I spend just listening to how it comes out and how it's received. And I think I really laugh because I think after we record, we kind of forget some of the stuff we spoke about. Friday, I remember just really laughing. I was like,
even editing it. I was dying, bro. I was like, nah, bro. Like, she actually said this, or you know, this actually happened. It was fun. It was definitely a lot of fun.
Now some of her tweets make so much
definitely.
sense. Like, when I see a lot of her tweets, I'm like, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if there's another story.
No. I think she's still got a couple more in the clip. I think she only fired one bullet. But there's still a couple more in the chamber. You know, maybe she's saving them for the Patreon. Who knows? Maybe her second appearance here. You know, we don't know. It's Feeling Station, maybe. Who knows, right? So it's one of those things where I know you could just tell. Like, now I read them with empathy. You know, like, you guys have been out here putting my sister through the most. But there's now context. You know, even Izolo, I forgot what the tweet was. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on.
No, that's it from me, Mr. Maps.
Okay.
That's it from me.
Lokuzin, but you did IP Thursday, isn't on?
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Wow.
Special thanks to everyone who read IP Thursday. Dude, you're my brain.
Yeah, holiday Mnandi.
Full of shit. You're actually full of shit. This will be a long episode. My God.
Oh man, I have myself a good ass time.
Special thanks to everyone who read last week's Happy Thursday. It was on the song A Bittersweet Symphony. You know it, right, Tabo? Yeah, so Bittersweet Symphony by the Verve. For those who don't know, the Verve were an English rock band. Bittersweet Symphony is their most successful songs, probably their first big hit and their last big hit, because the group separated a short while after that. But it turns out that they had actually sampled some of the chords that hold ting 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 ting. They'd taken that from the Rolling Stones, and the Rolling Stones, when the song came out, were like, "Hey, chief, relax, calm down. You stole this from us, so we want all the money from the Bittersweet Symphony." And that has been the case since 1997. Only recently, I think in 2019, so about 22 years later, that's when Mick Jagger and Keith Richards decided to sign back the rights to the Verve. But after 22 years, obviously the song's past its peak. All the money's been made. So yeah, man, it just shows the importance of actually sampling properly and using the right channels before you copy or use someone's song as your own. Because once you sample and then you get your hit, they'll come back. And these guys always come back when your song is big.
Yeah.
Like when your song is nothing, they'll leave you. They'll be like, But once you're making big money and you're top of the charts, they'll be back to say, right,
it's my time.
Sampling. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Anyone who wants to check out that IP Thursday, you know exactly what to do and exactly where to find it. It's at Selemi Somoyo on all platforms. And catch up on all your IP Thursdays.
Yeah, although I think the only thing, if you're going to read after the fact, it'll only be available on Twitter. So I think
yes.
storing Instagram has stopped. I think I reached my limit with those stories. So to delete. So to delete and add more, they're not allowing that. So I was just like, you know what? If you want to read some more, go on Twitter. And then if not, you just have to wait for the book.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bestseller. Let's move into the first topic. This is something that we've kind of sort of touched on in different ways here and there in different episodes, but it kind of really hit home for me today. Earlier this week, I was having a conversation with my boss, and he was just kind of like, we were just chilling, and he was just like, my son is really, really into sneakers, and like these proper, Jordans, Nike, Adidas, whatever. So he's probably, I think, wore grade 6-ish, somewhere there, right? And he's in that phase where he's really, really, developing a love for sneakers, right? Obviously, these sneakers that he likes are very expensive. And my boss is Nigerian, right? So he's not old school. He's cool, right? He's chilled, but then also he has a lot of that old school Nigerian mentality, because it's not like he's not in his 20s or anything like that, right? So he has some of that old school era mentality, right? When it comes to parenting and stuff. So initially, when his son came up to him, he's like, "Hey dad, I want these sneakers." He's like, bro, like, do you see how much these sneakers cost? We're spending an arm and a leg sending you to the best schools in Dubai, blah. Again, typical African parents, speeches, right? And then he was like, he sat back and he thought about, because apparently his son innocently asked him, what's his thing? He asked him when they were hanging out. He said, "Dad, what's your best memory that you remember being a kid?" Right? And then he was like, it was. So when he thought about it, he realized it was one of the few times that he got a new pair of sneakers, like these really, really super cool, like the in shit at the time, right? Then it clicked for him. He was like, "Oh snap, that's my happiest memory as a kid." So like it helped him empathize with his son to see, okay, where's the kid coming from, and A, B, C, D. Yeah. So like those type of things where to me, when we spoke about that, it had me reflect to be like, yeah, but you know what? Parents, they never ever think about, it's all the focus on like, I want Senna to have a great education and have all these things that I never had as a parent, right? I'm going to send him to the best schools. I'm going to do this, all the practical shit in life. But then obviously, because we're kids, right, we don't care about that. You know, like for me, going to a great primary school, like I was kind of like, okay, fine, it's school. You know what I mean? Like for me, that was what I knew to be school. For my parents, it's like, hey, we're sending him to the best primary school in Bulawayo, right? That was their source of pride. For me, it's like, hey, listen, it's school. But then there were so many moments where, you know, the frustration, which was a frustration for me, and I'm sure for a lot of other kids, was when your parents, you know, are kind of like one of those, oh, okay, first generation, went to uni, you know, did well for themselves. Now they're making money, like life below is looking good for them, right? But they've come back, they've come up from a certain background. Now they maintain a certain type of like lifestyle, right? Where they say, okay, these are the essentials in life, and you know, these are the luxuries. Whereas they send you to schools as a kid, where it's like they'll send you to Whitestone, and then all my friends and everybody there, my classmates, you know, has all these fancy lunch tins, or like the pencil cases with like 24 crayons and, you know, 2 erasers and, you know, this and that. You're there with your Zenge Oxford item with the protractor. And there's that Lokuzin, which I was used to poke holes in the wooden desks. You know, that sharp Lokuzin.
Yes.
Yeah. So like literally that was that was my life, you know. So and then when you try to explain these things to your parents, they don't care, because it doesn't matter. It's like, hey, you're in a top school. What more do you want from me, you know? But anyway, I just wanted to expand on that conversation with kind of like how do you see yourself changing that? So if you send your kids to those really, really good schools, are you going to do it kind of like your parents did it, or are you going to be much more like adaptable, given that you went through that as well?
So for me, right, I'll explain it with, because I always like going to stories of my past. It's a huge transition. It was a huge transition from Milton to Whitestone, in the sense of I think I've spoken about the change of environment in terms of schools.
Yeah.
But one thing I don't think I've spoken of enough is in terms of the actual experience as a child, just as a child growing up, right? So all of a sudden your interests go from playing soccer at break time every day with your homies with a tennis ball or whatever it was at Milton to kids are talking about PlayStations.
Yeah.
I didn't have one at the time. That was a huge change and something to adapt to in itself, right? Because it's like, okay, changes. Now the one thing my parents did, and Shem, I'd be lying if I say they didn't cater to our luxuries, should I put it that way. They always tried to get us, you know, the things that we also, in addition to what you wanted, but there's an understanding with, okay, so now you're here, you might need a cricket bat of a certain kind, right? Which maybe back there, Lokuzenini, which was football, or when you played cricket, you didn't really have to have like a good bat. But now you're walking into the school where every kid is carrying a kookaburra or a GM. Like those were like the big fancy bats.
There was the other one, the V6 or something like that.
Slazenger.
Yeah, Slazenger. Yeah. Oh my God, I wanted that one.
Right. So you go from literally a school where half the kids are playing football, whatever days they can find, to half the kids are wearing mercurials in primary school. Like okay, now what must happen? Like now what must happen? I remember at the time I had this black tempo, right? The black neck tempo. Yeah. That's the one I had from Milton that I moved with. It was a black neck tempo, and then I think around grade, I'm not sure which year Togo came from the UK, or grade 6, grade 7.
Oh, that's who brought the T90s.
Yes, Mtogo brought the T90s from the UK.
Oh, okay.
And they were a little bit bigger. They were a size bigger.
They were hella big.
And then I remember. Now let me show you what peer pressure can do at these schools. So Tabo remembers this very
Oh
well.
yeah, no, I do.
So I was like, let me just carry on wearing my tempos, right? Because at the time, I think they bought. I've forgotten what size I was even wearing back then, but they were a size up.
Yeah.
From what I was genuinely like wearing. So my tempos still fitted me properly. I could still play very well, run very well. Everything was good. They were getting small, but I was still fine. And then someone was like, but Bri, you're just gonna let these nice boots just chill. Like we're in grade 7. Like, it's the last term. Also, it's football season, last term. So then I'm not sure if you were there when we devised the plan to Faga just at the at the end of the shoe. Like just like some newspapers there so they fit.
No, I don't think I was there because I remember when I then realized that you had a newspaper palette. I remember I was dying. Like I was out. I was down for the count. But
it wasn't like a lot, right? But it was just to get the grip. So it was still once you figure the newspaper, then it's fine, right? Everything was good. So they were still comfortable to wear everything. But I literally could have waited a year and then worn them in high school. But because you're now playing with kids who are wearing mercurials and whatever Adidas thingies, there's now that pressure to be, I also need to level up, right?
Yeah.
And it happens, and it extends to little things. And I mentioned the PlayStation thing a lot, and I'm not sure how many guys feel about this. But what happens is that environment, now to explain to your black parent why you want a PlayStation. Why do you want it? You didn't have it. No, it's cool. Yeah, well, the problem is you've now gone to Tabo, you've gone to Whitestone. You're mingling with all these kids, richest kids in Bulawayo now. They're telling you all the stuff. And like, hi, but let me also want to partake. Or maybe you've gone for a sleepover at Mang's house and time of your life. Playing FIFA.
Literally.
Right?
Like, bro, Raymond invited me to his house once and I was so shocked, dog. Like, we at that point, we both lived in Burnside. A bit of his house is a 6-minute drive from mine. Not even 6, probably even 5, you know. But when I tell you, which is 2 different worlds, like it was a mad. Like I the first time I went there, man, you know, like from basic shit like easy in judge, bro, easy which were at my house. Compared to the dogs that the man had, he had Dalmatians, and I was about these shit are not like, these are real, right? You know what I mean? Like
they're not TV.
I know Dalmatian for 101 Dalmatians on Disney. You know what I mean? Like that's where I know Dalmatians from. Not to and
nigga thought he was in Disney World.
No, bro, I was in Disney Channel, dog. I get there. And it's like the house is in this, even the driveway, there's these thick trees. It just looks like, it looks very mysterious, very like, oh shit, okay. The house is built on granite rock, it's just, bro, it's literally like, this palatial kind of atmosphere. You come in, Mans was staying with his grandmother and his dad at the time. And, I walk in, man's like, yo, do you want to eat? I'm like, okay, well, what's this? Like, this Cocoa Pops. I'm like, Cocoa Pops? What the fuck is that? It's like, you never had Cocoa Pops? Like, nah. Right, I tried Cocoa Pops for the first day.
The story always kills me.
It's like, bro, and I'm literally there, like, mind is being blown. So now we're at the Cocoa Pops. Man is just, I'm like, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, cool. This is things called Cocoa Pops. Noted. Going to tell my parents. I was like, all right, cool. Let's go to the bedroom. We go to his room, and boom, PS2. And I'm just, and
Demons had TVs in their room.
Exactly. TVs in the room. He had a PS1, which obviously at that point PS1 was old, so he had a PS2. And he's got all the wrestling games. He's got V-Rally. He's got all this other shit. And we're just playing games. And I'm just... Listen, for him, it was a normal day. Hey, invited his friend over. For me, it was your...
time of your life.
Like, listen, man was in heaven. Like, literally, I was just like, life can get no better. Then, obviously, 5 p.m. comes. Dad comes to pick me up. Oh, hey, thank you. All right, bye-bye, and go home. And I come to my house with my dogs, which are very Ndebele dogs. And there's no Cocoa Pops, maybe cornflakes. And again, for me especially, the biggest mindfuck of it all, it was not because my parents couldn't afford it. They just didn't want. You know what I mean? It was literally, hey, listen, like, bruh, when I tell you, every day in Lina, walk pig is chwala. For lunch, day in, day out. If it wasn't Saturday, it's chwala and something. It's chwala beans, chwala pita, chwala meat, chwala, like, and my dad had no issues. There was never a problem, And I'm just thinking to myself, like, bro, how can we? It was a weird thing for me. Like, I was like, and even buying a Lokuzen, a cricket bat, I wanted that Slazenger V6 because that's what the homies had. Right? I want to play cricket. I wanted the big tote bag with the wickets and the pads and the helmet, everything.
The pads and the whole thing.
My dad says, all right, fine. Asambe Macro buys me this generic brand cricket bat. I'm like, and it was heavy too. I remember it was so heavy, and I could barely carry it, and I couldn't even bat properly with it. And then, like, how like some of these zones, about Dale and whatnot had the hammers, and then you put the oil on the like. Yeah, there was a whole process.
You knock it in and everything.
Now you come home, you're like, Dad, I need the oil for the cricket bat. Like, win. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so much.
To be honest, them white kids were rude, right?
Yeah, I know.
Let me tell you what, them white kids were rude, but. You come there with your whatever, they'd always do an authentication check to see if it's
real or fake.
If it's quality.
Wow, I completely forgot that. Even for boots,
bro,
the whole thing with Nike boots have like 5 check marks. Jani.
How do you know this?
That's truly Zima, bro.
Hey. But it's so, like I said, my parents were completely opposite. If we ever went and we said we needed anything, we wanted anything, they hands down best efforts to get it. So I can't really say they were like intentionally whatever with that regard. No, they always pulled through where they could. But I can't escape that it was awkward.
Yeah.
At times, because you can't, as a kid, like, you don't want to ask for everything, right?
Yeah.
But you can tell Guti, there's a whole other world here.
Yeah, I know.
You know Guti when you go visit. I once went, I think I went to Ray's house, 6th grade, 7, thereabout, some birthday party. And then you remember you're playing FIFA the whole day and you're like, bones. So I click Vele. It was the time when Ronaldinho was big, right?
Yeah, that was the era.
Yeah, around 05, 06, they're like, guys, ain't like Vele, this is the life, like you live like this every day.
Bro, I remember so, like, I'll give my parents this credit. Like, I think so. I was a wife son from grade 3 to 5, the ghetto. It took a lot. It took a lot of negotiation, begging, a lot of like stuff to move my parents. But by end of grade 5, grade 6, 7, they were with the shits.
Yeah.
So I got my Slazenger V6. I got, what I wanted. What I didn't get though, where my dad never moved because he felt like he understood that one a lot more than anything else I was asking for, was when it came to soccer. Obviously, soccer, Raymondi's got the Mercurials, there was what Venom something like these fancy ass boots. Everyone has got them. Senna now features. Senna was my partner in Povat. But then now, Senna pulls up with the T90. Now, I have to have a conversation with Mtogo. Like, Mtogo, bro, you helped put the pressure on me. Because now Senna pulls up, he's like, hey, yo, I've got some T90s. And I'm like, guys. So I now go to my dad, I'm like, Pali, listen, bro. Listen. We need to have a conversation. My dad goes, all right, cool. What's the problem? It's like, Dad, I need some new boots. I think I even made up Wutila and I said, so I don't know what happened. So he goes, okay, fine. I'll buy you some new boots. Let's go to Ramchi's. Like, Ramchi's, bro. like there. And I'm like, no, Dad, they need to be Nike or Adidas. And then he goes, why? I'm like, no, Dad, that's what we're supposed to wear. He goes, I'll get you some boots. And I'm like, okay, fine. So he had promised me that he was going to buy me these boots. Man goes to Ramji's, where he had told me, no, he'll get me what I want. I'm like, okay, fine, it's cool. Bali go to Ramji's. Comes back before practice, probably like 30 minutes before practice. And, I see the car driving in, Nissan hard body. Yeah, sharp. Go, and I'm, briskly walking to the parking lot. Bali steps out of the car. It's got a plastic bag. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm going to show these guys. I'm coming for you, niggas. And, I get the plastic bag. Dad, thank you. I love you, man. I'm excited. I open, and it's just a pair of white boots that were generic. I don't even know what the label was. That they were
probably just one of those. You probably got there like because back then they called them Mama Shooter.
Exactly. I think my dad still calls them shooters now. When he goes to football, go farmer shooters. So me, I'm there with some white. I was like, no, guys. So that was the one thing where for me, and even like till today, I still see it because when I was in uni, I found a place to play social soccer. So I obviously at that point when I found, these guys play here every Sunday, I didn't have to go and buy a pair of boots. That was the proudest moment of my life, hands down. Like, okay, not the proudest now, but like then there was nothing in my life.
It was big.
Nothing, bro. Like it was big because like I went there, I copped me a pair of Messi's boots, and they were fire.
Sweet.
And again for all of I don't know what they probably cost me. They were on sales. They cost me like $35. So it's not like I spent a lot of money. But for me, obviously as a student on a student budget, I was like, listen. So bro, I was so proud of myself. Those Messi boots, bro. No, like it's like it's still in me now. Where I want to buy these things because like again
the sufferation.
Yeah, first world privileges. We know this is the privilege conversation. Yeah. We're well aware of that. But still, guys, if you have kids and you send them to grade schools, please upgrade the lifestyle, everything. Don't just pay for school fees and expect kids to be grateful. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
One thing I have noticed, and it's not just like me and you that have said this, and I think it cuts across even other black guys that we learned with, in the sense that I think parents really tried to, okay, fine, we're sending you here, but we want you to keep you grounded, or keep your feet on the ground, so to say. You're going to wherever you're going, whether it's the best high school, the best primary school, but as a black child, we want you to remain humble. Yeah. And stop chasing the things we want you to also understand that money doesn't grow on trees. Yeah. Which I think was maybe for you the overlying message. It's not just I want this, you get it. I want this, you get it. No, understand that money has to come from somewhere to source these things, which was always great. And I think they always try to push that, but then in pushing it, because in his cut, it was a struggle.
Nah, man, I think,
and that's why I always say, I always say, like I'm grateful. Obviously, my parents did the most, but I always say, when there's a lot of negative that can also come. Yeah. When you send, I think I was lucky because I got there, and then there was you and a whole lot of other black guys that I met almost immediately. Yeah. And then we kind of formed our own little group where we all got each other and we understood each other. But I can imagine if you're like the only black guy in such an environment, you have a little stress.
Yeah, no, definitely. Too much. It's and again, for someone who started like in grade 1, 2, 3 there, it wasn't too many black kids, bro. Like it was there and again, it's like. 5 total, for example, and then out of those 5 they were in these 3 classes. So like Timbani, I know he was an OG, Kuku was an OG, they were in class together. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. I think I was in class with like Gerard, if I'm not mistaken, and that was it. And then but like each year there would always be like, okay, 2 more black kids, you know what I mean? Like so by the time we got to grade 7, there was a decent amount. Of us. No, yeah. But it was just one of those. Like initially, bro, like it was mad. Like and again, the mindfuck is like, you get invited by these kids to their houses, not just one kid. Like probably 3, 4, 5 kids' houses, birthday parties, all this other stuff, and they are all living a better life than you, and you're just there like. And then your birthday comes around. Oh, do you want to invite your friends? Nah. Not inviting them to the crib, bro. Like, it's like, let's have the birthday party at Spur or something, bro. Because this is not, you know. And again, you think about it now. You're like, nah. Like, I just wish, you know, maybe if I had like an older brother who could have, you know, if like what I am now to my youngest brother, where he comes to me and he's like, listen, this is the stress, and then I can translate that to my parents to be like, this is
okay.
Yeah, I wish I had that, you know, because then it would have, you know, it would have stopped a lot of heartache at the end of the day, where someone can go and speak to my dad, like, no, Bali, listen, you sent him to a school that's like this, you know, and you know, unless, so if I told my parents, you know, at the time, if they said, oh, we all need computers at school, I'd have a computer immediately, you know. That would never have been a problem. But then it was these things where it's perceived luxury.
The little things. It's the little things.
To get a PS2,
luxury.
like my mom had to campaign. My dad was like, no, why do they need it? He was just not about.
Do you think that was a fear of Uguti, you are losing humility slightly?
I don't even know if I think it was school. It was, you know,
distractions.
You know. Yeah. So it was just one of those things where, like, I just think the way that my dad had seen school and stuff needs to be done, he had seen this is the only way, this is the path to success, and there's no locuzin for distractions. There's no time for distractions. And this, hey, I'm a cricket bet, hey, this and that, you know, those are all distractions, you know. You don't need that.
But of course, but those schools then make it difficult, right? Because then you get to, I got to CBC. Obviously now I now have the bat and the pads and the whole shebang.
Yeah.
You get to college. College is also it was a bit of a mindfuck on its own for I think a lot of other kids, in the sense that now they're telling you don't play cricket without all the equipment. Now you're telling that to someone whose parents have spent their last dime to get their kid through the door. That now they need to buy all this other shit. That's why a lot of, when you got to college, a lot of guys were just like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Rather I play another sport, or if they do, rather I just borrow my way right through it.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's why you found like in at CBC, Utiama sports were now, you know, soccer, it was all the black kids, period. You know, cricket, hockey, it's all the white and colored kids, essentially. And then those, you know, Petra alums, Whitestone alums, Carmel alums, who have developed that liking for cricket, for hockey, for whatever, you would then see them as the random black guys on the team. You know, it wasn't like an army of ones. Right, it's cricket season, it's first term. Who's going to try out for first team or what? Really, it was, you already knew about cricket, siabaz, you know, and there was no developing of passions. You know, like, because it just, those economic boundaries kind of just the distribution, you know, normalized itself. But anyway, Mr. Mo, I think we've ranted enough. This is anyway, that conversation made me gasp, right? There's so many instances at especially at Whitestone, dog. Like, we just.
This was difficult.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where one day I need to sit with my dad, like, Dad, therapist, unpack all of this trauma. Like, as a kid, this stuff matters to you. You know, it's like it means something, right? When later on you're like, wow, I can't believe I used to care about this shit. But like in the moment, no. Especially, I won't lie, when you rocked up with the T90s, no.
You're still at the T90s 15 years later.
No, I know that one. I know with Leana hurts. It touches somewhere in my heart. That one, that's where I said, Mr. Maposa.
It was in the middle of term, right? Yes.
It was a random time. It was not expected.
Yeah. No, it was the middle of term, because it was UK summer. I'm told he would have come mid
second term.
Mid or during second term. So it was literally one of those overnight things.
Yeah, no, because you pulled up out of nowhere with the Adams, and I was like, Pella, these are actual tea. And again, the boots, and there was the ball.
Rooney wore them,
and then Rooney, Dino. There was some, like, even Cristiano, I'm sure, wore those as well at some point. So like, hey, no, it was too much. No, I wouldn't even lie to you. There were that T90 period there, 05, 06, Jack, I'm sorry. Leana, it's a no from me, dog.
I wonder where my T90s are. I'm gonna give them to my cousin. But
Anyway.
I think, yeah.
Hi. So right, moving right along. This is now going to be the relationship aspect of the podcast. So much shit to get into. So at this point, let's do. I think this is the rundown, guys. This is the rundown. We're just gonna run through these topics. Let's start with the foreplay time, dog. So I'll plug in. At this point, I'll plug in the little insert.
To get to orgasm, you gotta have desire, arousal, orgasm, and then refractory period. It's 4 parts, right? But desire and arousal look so similar for women. Like, they nipples hard, they wet, and so you're like, oh, she ready for this dick. But that she still just desires the dick. Just because her body responding in certain ways, it's not into this, it's completely swollen and doo-doo. You know, when your pussy start getting that heartbeat and it's really going. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And so that's when the pussy ready. That's when the pussy ready. But for y'all did get hard and y'all like, all right, it's time. No, it's different times. Women need like 18 to 40 minutes to be fully aroused. You just turn on 85 South Show, and when the episode go off, then you can stick the dick in.
18 to 40 minutes?
18 to 40 minutes. For y'all too. That's why some of y'all nuts be so weak. Cause like as soon as y'all stick, y'all don't know how to sit in being aroused. You're not aroused for long enough. Your blood not pumping. Like what's arousal? It's nothing but blood flow to your genitals.
Yep.
And so when y'all be giving lackluster dick, it's cause that blood ain't really flowing. You ain't really want to fuck. You kind of just bored. It's like,
You're a good teacher. Keep going. Keep going. It's just your voice is so believable.
I'm for real.
Yeah, it sounds like you done watched everybody fucking. You know how everybody fucking right now.
So you saying I'm telling some truths?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
I did not know it took the pussy 18 to 40 minutes to be ready though.
Yeah, you gotta jumpstart that motherfucker.
I probably ain't never had no done pussy though.
So they've had the thing. They are with us. Everybody's up to date. Mr. Moyo, did you know that you had been eating undercooked pussy for a while? Or am I just assuming? Had you, are you a person that has been on this tip? Or, have you just been
No,
schooled?
obviously. No. I'm genuinely surprised by that video. Like, no lie. In the sense that we're all told that you need to marinate the item first, don't you? Like, don't just rush in, blah, blah, blah. But I think the 18 to 40 minutes seems absurd. I think even the person would get tired. Like,
Man said absurd.
like I think even the girl then would be like, "Hi, chief, canteen." I think that's inaccurate. She's right, but I think the time periods were wrong.
Only Senna would want to argue with a sex therapist. Like, only you.
Only me, bruh. Angazi, if you think 18 to 40 minutes of heavy breathing, it's fine. If you think that 18 to 40 minutes is cool, but I think 18 might be okay. But beyond that, guys,
Yeah, no, I think, I agree. In that 10 to 20 minute mark, it makes sense.
Then you can,
Yeah, I think
to 40 minutes,
bruh. A whole episode, bruh, of Blacklist.
Ungakaqalisi. That's what I'm saying. I think someone's daughter will be like, hi.
Siyalala skatban. Thina siyasebenza.
So she'll be like, my takes are phela ngo-6.
Like, honestly, for real though, like you can't tell me 40 minutes. Guys, no.
My G.
40 minutes.
My G.
Nah, bro.
There must be a balance. You can't just rush into the R. There must be a good balance. Although what I must say is, the importance of what she actually said, it just helps both of you to get into the rhythm of things.
Yeah,
that is fine.
Oh yes. Let's get into the paragraphs. So there's been a lot of paragraphs going on Twitter. I'll start with the funny one. So someone tweeted out today, and I died laughing because I thought I also, she had me in the first half, but maybe I should edit that out. Anyway, whatever. Because I wanted to just read the tweet and just have people think in a certain way. So this is the tweet. She goes, "Stop doing this," in capital letters, right? Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. It's a picture of a lady breastfeeding her child at a restaurant, right? That's the picture. And the caption is, "Stop doing this. In your house, it's okay. If that's what you want, in your house it's okay if that's what you want, but in a restaurant, it's not acceptable. It is a public place devoted for food consumption. I don't care why you do it. It just makes me sick. Don't put your flip-flops on top of the table, please, I beg." So it's a lady at a restaurant breastfeeding a child, plus there's also amapata on top of the table, right? So it's a joke for anyone who doesn't get it. It's a joke to play on, obviously, how people frown on women breastfeeding in public. And there's a big campaign, obviously, to be like, hey, listen, that's not an issue. People should just mind their damn business, blah, 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 blah. But obviously, she at the end, she goes, yeah, don't put slippers on the table. But what killed me, right, which is what we complain about all the time, right, on social media or because of social media, there were people in the comments, bruh, like, and I'm going to read literal comments of what people were saying. Let me see. So now we know, we've established Tukuti, it was a joke, right? Someone jumps into the comments, says, and I'm guessing this is the person from Zim because a lot of people were replying in Shona and stuff. And so, I highly disagree with this. When did breasts or babies suckling on them become disgusting? I am shocked. Again, the joke is there. Like,
it's there.
It's about
like, it was literally that was bait.
Yeah,
it was literal bait. To bait the social justice warriors, not the social justice, but the empty vessels that come on social media just for a fight.
Exactly.
And many of them fell into it without reading the whole slops thing. Think piece and can't bro.
No, honestly, it was funny because it's like half the comments are people shocked people are taking this seriously, and the other half is people who are taking this seriously. You know, with someone saying, "I do not see anything wrong with a mother breastfeeding in public. I also don't understand what's disgusting about breasts or breastfeeding. Breasts, no matter what condition, are not give respect to mothers." And I'm just there like, the only thing that I can try to think of is maybe because this person, the author of the tweet, said flip-flops and people didn't clock, you know, what flip-flops means.
Flip-flops are slops.
Because I think someone else in the comment said, the problem is that you said flip-flops. They'll understand what to look out for.
Not even. I think whoever it was just like,
Nah, there's an appetite for rage. I think it exemplified perfectly that there are people who are there every single day and they choose violence all the time, no matter what, you know. And so next time you think about fighting with someone on Twitter, think about this. Like this is just what people want, you know.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. You enjoy yourself. Don't take shit seriously online, because if you do, like it's literally a waste of your time.
It is. And I think a lot of people just need to relax a little bit on social media. Like,
yeah, honestly, it's absolutely unnecessary. But anyway, next thing on the rundown was so you get the Oloni Lokuzin ready, because we're going to touch on that. There's a Tete item that we can read. You know that Tete, I forget her name. We've read one of her things before where people send her things. Siazamas. Yeah, but anyway, so if I find that one, I'll read it. This one is one of those, but it wasn't addressed to her specifically. So this also made the rounds. But when you didn't clock because you were, out there vacationing. Said lady says, and we'll take it as a siazam. My husband is mourning his dead mistress. 3 months ago, the woman who was having an affair with my husband died suddenly from an accident. I found out about the affair only 2 days after the funeral. I thought she was simply a co-worker, and I was wondering why my husband was so disturbed and emotional. He quit his job, saying that it was too traumatic to go to work. She was in the early weeks of pregnancy when she died, and my husband doesn't know whether he was the father to the kid. Oh shit, the husband doesn't know whether it was him or her husband who was the father of the kid. So she was cheating too. So on top of everything, he's also grieving for a baby which may or may not be his. I find it extremely difficult to be emotionally supportive when he wakes up at 3 a.m. crying and trembling. Yet, I don't have the heart to yell at him like I want to. Let me see here. I lost my place. There we go. Yell at him like I want to. He says she's dead. There's no reason for me to feel jealous or threatened, and asks for my understanding as he grieves. We've barely talked these last weeks because I don't know how to respond to my husband when he cries and says he misses her and wishes she were here. Then also how much he loves me, and then he also says how much he loves her and how much he never intended to leave her. I asked him to visit a marriage therapist, and he says he's not ready to work on our marriage, and he thinks he needs to see a grief therapist instead. Do I need to give him time to mourn the loss of his mistress, or should I demand that he focus on our marriage? End of story.
Yeah. It is really giving me ghost vibes.
Bro.
Like, literally, it's giving me ghost vibes. For those who
Tasha,
don't know...
the love of my life just died, Tasha.
Yeah, it was in, I think, Power, one of the later seasons of Power.
Yeah, when Angela
Ghost
died.
Obviously, yes.
Spoiler
Ghost,
alert.
obviously, this drug dealer. He's in love with this woman, Angela. He's also married to his wife. Angela is his side chick / ex. Recently reunited.
High school
sweethearts, all the nice things. And then Angela dies, and then his wife is busy stressing, like, bro, have sympathy, I just lost the love of my life. This is giving me the exact same energy, in the sense that man's is going through a lot. And the funny thing is, I think there's a lot of households where a lot of men have come back and they've just been stressed for weeks on end, and no one in the family knows why. Like, his baba's been like this for a month. Ayo baba, these days vele kahle. Ayo baba, these days kutheni. Ayo baba, sazi ukuthi uhlutshwa yini. Ayi kumbe uyagula. Ayi kumbe yini. Hey, emsebenzini. Whatever it is, kanti umuntu is mourning the love of his life. And I think a lot of guys go through that, and a lot of men go through it in silence, because especially if you've been cheating. You come back and be like, hey babe, side note, I'm not doing too great. End up, hey, my side chick just died.
Bruh. No, but this man is wilding, bro. Like, that's I mean, personally, I think when you're now waking up at 3 a.m. Okala, like, it's just at that point, bro. Now kuchaya, bro. Like, if I'm the wife, like, nah, bro. Ding and beat the guy, because at that point, that's insult to injury, bro.
But
to
he's
weep,
grieving.
Okay.
Yeah, he lost someone special to him.
Nah, fuck that shit. She should never have been that special in the first place. You know, like, it's one thing to go and, you know, be unfaithful. It's another thing to then show how much that shit affected you. Like, I mean, again, it's never a good thing if someone dies, right? It's okay. A man comes in, he's sad for a day. Hey, it is what it is, right? We move. But, like, saying 3 a.m. trembling. No, guy. Like, at that point, you know, it's not on, bro. And then she says, let's work on the marriage. He goes, no, I need to see a guys, come on. Like, I mean, I've seen people online sympathizing, which, you know, he does need that, but, like, nah, fam.
And I think, if to be honest, if she has stayed with him throughout this, I think it's then imperative that she also supports. And I'm sorry in the sense that it may come across as if you're being insensitive to the wife's feelings and all these things. But I think if you know and you're not going to leave him, then stay and deal with the situation.
Nah. I think even if you're not planning to leave, you can be like, "No, it's alright. You know, you come and look for me, bro." Because honestly,
I wonder how that must feel though, when someone is grieving, when someone is clearly grieving someone else. Like, a part of it might feel like he's still cheating.
Yeah.
Emotionally, like that's what I'm saying. So I'm cheating.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's again assets, marriage. You know how marriages are. Like if it's just one of those things you can't leave, but it's just like fam. At that point, nah. Like one, katingindu, I'm too good. No, I don't endorse it. I don't endorse violence. But like, he again. Okay, fine. Grieve. Do what you need to, but do it quietly and do it in the dark. Like, don't. This is attention seeking. Like, this is like I don't even give a fuck about you. Because again, there's her feelings to keep in mind.
True.
She's just learned this whole bomb. Right. There's a pregnancy that was there. Bro. Like there's a lot. Yeah. So we also need to empathize with the wife. The guy. Nah. The guy
I agree with you.
He was cheating quietly, right? He was cheating quietly. Therefore, let him mourn quietly. Simple. Same energy.
I agree with you. Only as far as Uguti, I have empathy for the wife. Like I empathize a lot. But I do think at the same time, Ogunye.
Now Chomlo ya telela, bro. I'm sorry. There's no other way to look at it. Like it's just a simple fact at the end of the day, because I know, bro. I'm sorry. Power. There, at that point, no, it's okay, bro. It's okay. I'll show
but
myself.
That's how a lot of guys then go through like depression and suicide and all these things. Like, at least he's being. What I'll say is at least.
No, if it's that deep, right? If you're cheating and it's that deep, come clean. I think if it's that deep for you, come clean. Just let it be known, and whatever happens is whatever happens.
No, did he come clean after she died? He came clean after she died, right?
Yeah, she says she found it after Bella, 2 days after the hunt died.
Okay, hectic.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, man. Guys.
No. Look, like honestly, do you have the Oloni item?
Yeah, got it open. So there was an initial tweet from this guy called Ohio V1. Quade Cooper, I think that's how he that's what he calls himself on Twitter. So he says, I tend to mind my business, not women's business. But I know if Oloni did a ladies, what were you really doing before you sent that sorry I fell asleep text the next morning thread? Men them will be coughing blood by match of the day. So Oloni then replies and says, ladies, shall we have some fun? And of course, ladies and ladies only, she says, I want you to DM me the craziest story that truly happened when you text him apologizing for falling asleep. So anyone who's been remotely involved with a woman will have received this text. Every guy has received this on numerous occasions, where whoever you're talking to, be it a girlfriend or whatever, has gone offline, and then she resurfaces hours later or the next day saying, sorry, I fell asleep. So there were a few DMs that she got. Hi Oloni, I told my babes at the time I fell asleep early, but I had really gone to have a threesome. I had such an amazing experience. One in my mouth, another in my cooch. Those men really took care of me that night. I stayed over at these guys' place. So I told my babe I was asleep for 11 hours that night. I was cheating. This is another one. I was cheating with someone who's even his dad's age, having orgasms left, right, and center. I basically passed out from how much fun I had. Woke up the next morning, said cute little good morning, sorry I fell asleep while I was studying. However, I enjoyed it so much, I would do it regularly. And even seeing Mr. Ass Eater, oh okay, Mr. Ass Eater in about 2 to 3 hours. Don't we just love Sundays? Bro. Hi Oloni. I told my baby daddy I was asleep, but I was taking the best D of my life. He was ringing my phone whilst my tongue was in this man's booty. Hectic. Another call, he was sucking my toes and making me squirt. It was the best night ever. Guys, hey. One day I'll... No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No one will look at me the same if I tell this story. I was seeing a guy who had a good D, but he was kind of boring.
Tell the story.
So a guy I used to speak to relocated to France for work.
That's the one. Tell the story.
Ah, man, once upon a time.
Okay.
Many years ago.
Oh,
Man, it was something stupid. No, it actually wasn't stupid. How do I put this in the easiest way? I had a small get-together thing, blah, 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 hosted a braai. It was a while back. And then someone came with a friend. Put it that way. Friend had a boyfriend, and then angazi was figure 11 whatever. Miguel says I think she texted man saying, oh no, sorry, no, she didn't text Mans. She switched off her phone. And then long story short, things happened, blah blah blah, and in the middle of the night Miguel switches on her phone and says, sorry babe, I was sleeping. Obviously I felt terrible because hey, I've been that guy, right? I've been the other guy. So in that moment I was just like, man, no. Now, whether or not I knew she had a boyfriend, story for another day. But, and I remember in that moment when she's like, oh, sorry, babe, I was sleeping. I was like, yes. But long story short, he dumped her that night because I think he just didn't buy the skeleton.
So, uvitiza and another gent is stressed about the whereabouts of his lady.
I found that out after the fact. Ogote he was calling and all.
So after you found out, did you keep seeing her?
No. Well,
okay. Mr. Moy, you're trash.
No, I'm really not. So here's the thing. So I actually think the whole I fell asleep thing has happened to me.
Oh shit!
Like legit in like the past.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you find out you've been cheated on, right? What happens is you start
to go back.
Your brain
and
goes
do
back
maths.
and does maths to when. Like you start thinking, when? Then you start saying, oh, sorry, I was asleep. And you're like, oh, lapa. So that's why, fast forward like a while later, it happens, but this time I'm like the guy on the other side. I'm like, oh shit. Actually, don't trust these daughters of Eve. I'm playing, guys. You can trust the women that you love.
After God.
Fear them.
Fear them. Nah, honestly, because this
so anyways,
is a lot.
I'll read one more. This one goes, girl, where do I even begin? I was dating this guy, really sexy, super nice. Then I met his family, and my word was his dad's sexy and more delicious version of him. Long story short, after the next family dinner, his dad told, hold on. Oh, okay, so this one cut off, my bad. I guess you guys will have to guess what happened there. Wow. Hi Oloni. So I was seeing this super jealous guy. He was driving to me from another city late at night with his friends. so I could meet them as his next girl or whatever. Oh, that's cute. But when a guy I had a crush on for ages but had a girlfriend message me declaring that he's single, I jumped at the chance and invited him over. I don't know if it was the crush or the feeling of being sneaky, but the guy rocked my world. Afterwards, I saw the angry text from the jealous guy, so while Sneaky Link was in the shower, I sent my guy a whole video of my empty room after saying I was sleeping. I think a lot of girls like to brand some guys as super jealous when I don't see anything super jealous about what this. He seemed genuinely excited to introduce her to his friends. But yeah, Mr. Maps, what do you think of the I fell asleep tweets or texts?
It just shows that you were all trash, bro. Omunye is crying at 3 a.m. for their mistress, and then others are busy, doing crazy monkey sex with people that they're not supposed to be doing crazy monkey sex with. So it's just, the world is a madness, bro.
Hectic.
Bud, the streets is wild.
Out here. You ain't trying to be out here.
You ain't trying to be out here, bro.
You
Get
really
yourself
ain't,
a
to be
good
honest.
woman and call it a day. Sit down, call it a day. Because
Settle down. But yeah, with regards to my story, Mr. Maps, I wasn't aware of all the happenings. It's only after the fact
there's
where
no need to justify.
No,
Mr.
I feel like I
Moses,
must
fine.
explain. No, personally, guys, I'm not trash. I'm not trash. I'm really not trash.
I'm just quiet. It's just tool and shit. That's it. That's all. Anyway, let's move into Siyazama and wrap things up. Siyazama is the part of the podcast where you can send us a point of order, you can send us a question, anything that you'd want to share with the 6 Foot Weights community, and we'll give you that anonymous shout out, and we will address it. So obviously, you can DM us on Twitter at 6 Foot Weights, or email the podcast 6footweights@gmail.com. 6 the number FT weights @gmail.com, or at Twitter. So we didn't get an actual question in terms of this particular individual, but she said, I'll paraphrase, but she was just saying, when are you guys going to do some visual content? It's one thing. Where did you see? Yes, it's one thing to hear your reactions, but it's a whole nother. It's a whole nother game in the park if we could see them. So maybe a Christmas special. I'm pretty sure the fans out there would agree with my point of view. So yeah, no, definitely. Like we said, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll work on something because I think visual is definitely big. But then I think what has probably stopped us, the biggest thing is that we're an ocean apart. So it's just one of those things where it's like, it's and when you're trying to do something visually and you're not next to each other, it's it's a lot of time and labor and resources, and it's just like so just getting this out every Friday to the people is already a time commitment, and it's work,
full-time jobs and all that thing.
Exactly. So but no, definitely we'll plan something for the people. We're cooking up something.
Away.
And then you have another Siyazama, yeah?
Yeah, so this actually also wasn't a Siyazama per se. I'm actually not sure if this person wants to remain anonymous, but we'll keep it anonymous because that's just how we do it. Hi guys.
Email us again and say, shout me out.
Yeah, exactly. Hi guys, this is not a Siyazama, but a topic / list of things it would be interesting to hear your thoughts on. People like to hear our thoughts, Tabo. I feel like sesifikile empilweni, bro.
Yeah,
we made it. I was listening to another podcast and they talked about an article that had 10 things you should not talk to your partner about. The list is as follows, Mr. Maps. So what I'll do is I'll read one, and then you'll tell me whether or not you could talk to your partner about this, and then afterwards I'll tell you what I think. Right? Cool.
Okay.
1, that you are not fond of their family.
Agreed. Well, 50-50.
So if you don't like your partner's family, you'll just be like, "Hey, cool."
If it's for petty shit, then I think sit on it for
But if
for
it's
a
serious
while.
things,
Yeah, if it's serious things with the, no, they I don't know, whatever, insulting you, they don't rate you, I don't know, something like that,
Yeah.
right? Then yeah, definitely in a respectful way, vocalize and say. I think actually I take it back. I think you can. If you don't like your partner's family, it's just about how you communicate that. That would be the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think you should communicate it because again, you don't want to. If you don't, then you're basically signing up to say, you know what? I'll just Vegazel the whole
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
And you suffer through it. If that's you, then cool. If that's not you and you want change, just because everybody's defensive, anyone says anything about my family, I don't care who it is, immediately I'm getting defensive. So you need to come correctly so that I listen to actually what you're trying to say and not what I think you're saying.
So I think to add on to that, I 100% agree with you. I think though I would not say fond, like I would not say I'm not fond of your family in general. I'd pick out specific instances or specific things that bother you.
Yeah.
So if it's the fact that maybe they're misogynistic, maybe they're tribalistic, maybe they're xenophobic, because I know that's happened. It's never happened to me, but I have one of my friends who it's happened to, I think, where it was like dating this girl and then her family was just a bit awkward about him being foreign national. So you could highlight the specific things and say you want this resolved. Don't just say you're not fond of them in general, because once you do that, you are just applying for long-term issues. War, exactly. Number 2, your friends' secrets. I think we've touched on this before because I know me and my secrets aren't safe in Tabo's pillow.
Your secrets build the bedrock of our relationship, boy. You should be proud.
I've accepted it. Actually.
No, but I mean, in all seriousness, I think, generally speaking, I think you shouldn't, because it just certain things you have to realize, like you don't want to, if it's your boys, right? So like talking from a guy's perspective, you don't want to shit on your boys, because if you shit on your boys, those are the same niggas that you're hanging out with. So if I'm like, hey yo, Senna had hella hoes at the crib, even if I'm not there, right? Like he's telling me with the me, I was within, and then I'm like, babe, Pela Senna was within ABCD. Then she's gonna be like, oh, nah, you know what I mean? But then when I'm like, hey babe, now I'm hanging out with the Senna, so now you wanna go hang out with the hoes, right? And it's like, no, that's not, you know what I mean? So like, don't shoot yourself in the foot. You need to always, especially as a gent, control the narrative, baba. Control the narrative, always have that one, at least one friend, who the virtuous one, the sinless one, where, babe, I'm going out. But Senna's going to be there. No, okay, tell Senna I said what's up. Even if y'all are going to find the hoes, then it's whatever. But at least, narrative-wise, Senna's an angel. You always want to maintain at least a couple of pure ones. It'll help.
I'd like to think I'm the righteous friend. That silence was very awkward, Mr. Maposa.
I know. Just nothing.
Number. What's the next one? We're on
3, right?
Phone lock. Yeah. All right. Number 3, that you have stalked your ex and as well as their ex on social media. No, don't do either. Okay, Mr. Maps, yes, take it away. But I say don't do either of those things.
Yeah, no. I mean, sure, stalk them if you want to, right?
But don't. Me.
Nah. Me, if you come to me like, oh, hey, babe, I was stalking my ex. Why?
Oh, I was stalking your ex.
Look, mfuna. No, like as in if she says that, she was stalking her ex.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, like, Chief, what are you doing? And then if it's like I was stalking your ex, it's like I if she told me that, I kind of be like, okay.
Why are you still worried about that?
But it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like I'll be like, all right, we'll walk with, whatever, right? So for me, I wouldn't care. But then if it's her own ex, then I'm like, why? Why are you so focused on going back to the past? Is there, like, is this going to create problems for me in the future? because there's nothing worse than a hun who, you know, isn't over her ex. So that will be, you know, a big red flag. So nah, do it quietly. If you're curious, if you still, you know, have a soft spot or whatever the case is, whatever it is, do it quietly and keep it moving.
Agreed. Never tell your partner you're stalking their ex as well. It doesn't come off right. I think it comes across as if you're competing in something somehow. Number 4, that someone flirted with you. No, don't do that. Don't tell your partner that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can tell them. You can tell them. Like, listen, you know. I've said it before. If I was like in the supermarket, I've had, you know, hands like just chuck a comment or whatever. Oh, you're really handsome. You know, I've had that happen. So yeah, nah,
I guess it depends on who the compliment is coming from. So I remember I once told my ex that one of the women at Home Affairs when I was applying for my visa flirted with me, and it was like funny jokes, because it was a woman at Home Affairs. Like, come on. But if you're chilling at the club, like, no, babe, I was at the club last night and some girl flirted with me, that's a different conversation altogether. She'll be like,
yeah, because now she wants to investigate the information. What did you do? You know, so it's not necessarily that she doesn't care about the hun. She cares about what did you do that made the hun want to flirt with you in the club.
I was just chilling.
Yeah, that's the truth. You were just chilling. But on the other side, from her perspective, you know, she wants to know that you weren't out here wilding and attracting that attention, because that's when they get mad. When you attract the attention or you do something to bring the attention. It's the same thing with Koda. If you're now if I start doing shit on IG, you know those ask me a question items, right?
Yeah.
On IG, where anyone can interact with your shit.
Yeah.
It's like I'll do one of those and then I'll get a DM. So you miss your host.
Yeah.
So now you gotta interact with your host.
Like,
hey, bro. It's like, my mother's on Instagram. What are you saying? I know it's a difficult. So like, they're always interested. What did you do? What role did Senna play
in this getting flirted with?
Exactly. Well, Home Affairs, I know it's chill. Funny enough, you know, I don't know why. Whenever I'm at the airport in SA, I always like these ladies. Like I went to this exchange, Adam, the Burundi exchange, and it was these two ladies. And it wasn't like wild shit. I was just changing, I think like $200 or $300, something. You know, young. It wasn't a lot. And the ladies looked at me and said, "Oh, okay. So can I get your ID?" And then, stupid me, this wasn't intentional. But then I gave her my Emirates ID. So she sees my Emirates ID and she goes, "Oh, so you live in Dubai?" And I'm like, shit. I'm like, "Yeah, I do." She's like, "Oh, okay. Wow. How is it there?" No, it's fine. No, and now like she's like super excited. So and then she actually asked me if I can buy them coffees. Like there's this cafe like it was like 20 meters away. It's like, "Oh, do you want to buy us a coffee?" And then the other one is like, "Oh no, man, I want ice cream." I'm like,
I think you got big man.
Like cheap, like she hadn't even changed my money. I'm like, can you change the money
in
first?
South Africa, it's a weird misconception, right? In South Africa, everyone associates Dubai with money.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's for no other reason than just Uguti, if you have money, you go to Dubai. I'm like, no guys, if you have money, white people aren't thinking Dubai. They're thinking
the Alps.
Yeah. Thinking big places.
No, I mean honestly, no. Dubai again. The marketing for Dubai is great. Like and again, it's like clockwork. Like if I'm trying to finesse myself a good seat, I'll show them the Emirates ID. So, "Oh my God, you live in Dubai?" It's finished. Like I'm done. Like this. Like
so we know.
I know it's a done deal. I know. Like Vele, success rate, Mr. Moyo, is through the roof.
It's high.
Know, once you slide that Emirates ID, yeah, no, you're winning. Dog.
You're within.
Within. It's kind of like before when I'd like come back from uni, you switch up the accent. It's like, oh, where are you from? It's like, ha.
So I'm from
Yeah,
Buffalo, New
Yeah,
York.
yeah. No. Buffalo.
Guys,
Buffalo.
Sage Sacha, Buffalo, New York. My God, yo.
Dog, you know what? I've started playing basketball. So I stopped playing football because it was just hot, right? So I started playing basketball, and obviously there's Americans there. I thought I had lost my Buffalo accent, but as soon as, because I was wearing my Buffalo States T-shirt,
Yeah.
and then the guy comes up and says, "Hey, yo, where you from?" And I was just like, you started sure hot.
And then now your accent also comes out.
It came. I was so shocked. I thought it was gone, bruh. Because like there was a time when I was like, I don't think I can speak like I used to, and I thought it was dead, right? And it came back. Started talking about Buffalo, New York, all this other shit, Boston, Worcester. Like it naturally. He's like, yeah, I can hear it in your accent, you know, like, yeah, no, you was definitely in the States. I'm like, yeah, I was there, mama. We was within.
Yeah. Alright,
Next one.
Okay, number 5. You did not like the gift that they bought you. No. My answer.
Man, I have another story for this one. Okay, I'll do the briefest version of the story.
Yeah.
You know the story. So it was my wife's birthday. At the time she was still my girlfriend.
2 years ago. I remember.
Yeah, I think, was it 2 yeah, 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Oh, 3 years ago.
I can't even
Three-
remember.
2-3 years ago.
2018.
3 years ago,
Her
yeah.
birthday, I think, yeah, but her birthday in 2018.
I remember I was still at that
Yeah,
other firm.
2018. Yeah. So I her birthday present originally was a gift set from Bath and Body Works, as well as a Michael Kors purse, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, and at the time, it's like, yeah, no, this is good, right? But it was in the States, so it took. I don't know why I couldn't get it to this. I can't remember what happened.
Delivery
but anyway,
was
couldn't
being
get from the States
delayed, and
to,
they were.
to Thingy.
But my memory serves me right. They were only going to deliver it after her birthday.
Yes.
So then
No,
now-
because it got shipped, but then they stopped it at Dubai Customs, and then for some reason they were like, such, so they sent it back. And then I was like, all right, cool, we'll do like DHL or something, because that always comes through.
Yeah.
But then at that point, it wouldn't have come in on time.
Yeah.
So what I had to now do is like, nah, shit. Because also the relationship is still relatively new. It's
was
over
a
a year
year.
old, but it's still about a year. Yeah, almost a year and some change, right? So again, it's still, I'm not yet, like, hey, listen, yeah, right, I'm comfortable, whatever. It's still kind of like, hey, it's, yeah, it's still laying the groundwork for everything.
You're campaigning.
Yeah, campaigning, exactly. So like, I'm like, my Baba, what do I do? I think I hit up Senna. I'm like, Senna, what do I do? So obviously, Senna is Senna. He's like, no, you can explain to her, Uti. And I'm like, Senna, I can't explain. Like, that's not good advice. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
could work.
I'm like, no, this guy.
You show her the receipt.
So anyway, I'm like, you know what? Let me go to the mall. So after work, go to the mall and shopping around, trying to see what is a birthday present. And long story short, I wound up buying her some Gucci slippers. And I'm thinking, and that was the first time actually I'd ever stepped into a Gucci shop and actually bought some shit. So like, I was like, this shit is fancy. Senna, they give you like a chair, and like, do you want water or coffee? Like, I was like, hey, I don't know, it's
big
proper
thing.
service, Minanchalu, H&M, Mr. Price, where it's powerful. You jump in,
pool,
you buy the shit, you get out. You pay the money, the guard inspects it at the door, you show the receipt and you move, right? Lapa, it was hard, bro, it was different. Like, okay, there's a gift receipt which doesn't have the price tag, where she can bring it back if she doesn't like it was the whole explanation, bro. I'm like, okay, cool, sharp, fantastic. And at that point we were meeting in Oman.
Yeah.
So I jump on a flight, we go to Oman, boom, we're there. And then, I think it was her birthday was like the next day or maybe 2 days, whatever.
Yeah.
So now it's her birthday. And then, she's all excited. Like, oh, what did you get me? La, 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 la. And then, boom. I pull out the box. Box says Gucci. Wahlanya umfazi. It was like it was vibes. I'm thinking, right,
I've done it.
home run,
Right.
Maposa, home run. Like
that's what we are within.
Yeah. We are within. Yeah, I really, I was like, finish. Like, right, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
She's in real hard. She's just, oh my God, like the look on her face was priceless.
Yeah.
And then, remove the bonnet, right, open the box, then there's a Gucci bag, opens the bag, she sees, slippers. And then she kind of she tried though. maximum points. She in the moment.
Yeah.
That night, I believed that she loved it, and then like I think some weeks down the line, that's when the Vari now came out. To no baby, I don't. Again, she wore them all the time, right? Because like, hey, they're something that she can use, right?
Yeah.
So they were there to be used. So So then then eventually it started with they're okay, right? And then eventually we got to the no, bruh, these are ugly. Like I hate them. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, bro, do you know how much I spent on it? Like, bro, like I was no. I was just fam. I know I was munyu. Like I was cut. Eventually I got over it.
Yeah.
And now we have this thing where we do wish lists. So about 6 months or so before the birthday, or before anyone's birthday, mine or hers, you send a wish list with like 5 things. Okay, these are the things that I want. If you buy anything on this list, you are happy. So different budgets, the super expensive, the super cheap, whatever you can afford, but it's on the wish list.
Okay.
So ever since then, we do wish lists, and then you just go according to the wish list.
Okay.
So that I want to buy happy. But I know that one is a gut punch, fam. Tough, but yeah.
What a difficult.
What a difficult. I have lived, Mr.
So pillar, bruh. No shame. It's for me. I don't think so. I understand why she did that, because you want to nip stuff like that in the bud. That next time, Tabo doesn't think
definitely
of doing something similar to this. So I get it, but at the same time, that can also hurt someone who's genuinely put all their effort into it. I have a friend of mine whose girlfriend bought him a fake football jersey.
That's wild.
Now, for some girls, it's like, all right, skip us a Man United, skip us a Liverpool.
Did she know it was fake?
I don't know. I'll have to ask him. But I think she wasn't aware. And I think...
So it was just kind of one of those, like, I got a Manchester United jersey for 100 Rand. Cool.
Yeah, sure.
He's good. Okay.
And like when up 100 Rand for you seems like it's a lot of money. Even if it's like 400, you think, okay, this is fine. But you all know football jerseys, when they've just come out, they're like 900 Rand to 1,000.
Yeah. It's $100.
Yeah, so it's a lot of money. So I remember he was complaining about it. I think, bro, I'm fast low. Fast long tail, just keep pay.
One of them items where you pop it in the washing machine and
then
the sponsorship item. It's like,
Now, my initial thoughts, right, were, you know what? Empathize, blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck that shit. He was just like, nah. There's no excuse. No excuse. So thinking about it now, I can understand why some of you guys would be like, yes, but I would just take it and keep quiet.
Okay.
I would just take it and keep quiet. Number 6, going to the loo to do number 2 things.
I don't think you need to communicate about that.
Communicate how? So it's obviously something that...
I'm going to take a dump.
Yeah, there's no need, right? Something that we all do.
Yeah,
it happens. You don't need to announce it. But it also mustn't be a thing that you're just awkward about, I think.
I am awkward about it. And she knows that, so she plays on that. So anytime I'll walk towards the bathroom, she'll like look at me and she's like,
You
"Are
know,
you going to take a poo?" And I'm like, "Bro, why are you talking about it? Like, leave me alone." Like she proper gives me grief about it because she knows like I don't. And I think honestly, hey,
I think-
humble, and I see you enter the bathroom. Do you think?
sure, you actively don't talk about it, fine, but I don't think you can exist in a world where you're just pretending it's not a thing.
Fair enough.
So
I can hear that.
Yeah, so like, level constipation, local yes, I want to go take a dump. This person's here. Now, Sahambi, you can't go to the bathroom because you're scared that he'll know.
Question. So if you and again, this is ladies and gents. If you are if it's Senna for example, and you're at a it's your new girlfriend. You've slept over at her place, or like someone that you are hooking up with, and again, this is still very very fresh, right? And you really need to use the bathroom to take a number 2. What's the plan?
I'm going.
Really?
Ew, bruh. Do you know the discomfort that comes with constipation, especially if you're going to be at a place for hours? Be slick.
Yeah,
be slick about it.
I don't know, bro.
No, be slick about it. Like genuinely be slick about it. Like don't just be like, hey, listen, mina, nah, like don't say anything. Just walk up like, no, she's the bathroom. Then you go, you do your thing. You just come out like nothing happened. Yeah. You don't talk. You don't have to talk about it. But OT, you're not just going to hold it. Do you know, guys? Discomfort learner is not. And especially if, say, you're staying over for a weekend. Are you girls or you men them telling me that you're gonna chill from Friday to Sunday, holding it in?
How about you will hold it, bruh?
Thunning. Guys. It can't. Maybe we should actually run a poll on this. Like, do you guys, if you're crashing over,
add us and let us know.
maybe y'all are holding things in from Friday to Sunday. Then when you get home, you see, now you're leaving your person's place. It's a relief and not a
Yeah.
like, I just need to get out of here. No, man.
You don't even want to hug your babe.
You don't wanna hug,
because
you just
you're
wanna
like, yo.
No, man. Like I think if you can do it in a less awkward way, and don't be awkward about it when someone else is doing it. Obviously it's I don't know why people are being weird about it, but people are weird about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, number 7, that your partner has gained weight. No, definitely don't say
Yeah,
it.
no.
That can affect someone's self-esteem in the worst way, especially if someone who's always been conscious of their weight,
Yeah.
whether they think they're too skinny or whether they think they've gained a lot.
Because if you've gained weight, bro. If you're fat, you're fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like you don't need a second.
You don't
opinion.
need a second opinion.
You know what I mean? Like it's So for me, if you come to me like, am I fat? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Nah. Fat.
I know.
Like,
I gained weight last year during lockdown. Stopped going to gym. We're eating junk. Here with my sister, it was a mess. We had braais all the time just because there was nothing else we could do during hard lockdown. And I remember stepping on the scale. I think I was 84. I was like, yo, no, bruh. From 79 to 84, I was like, nah, it can't be. Literally, because you're not going to the gym, you're just eating. And I was like, it can't be. Had to fix that one very quickly.
so have you dropped the weight?
Yeah, I've dropped it down to about 80 now, which is
Okay.
which is cool. Number 8, embarrassing things you did in the past. Yeah, it depends. You can tell embarrassing stories you did in the past. I always frame it as humor, so that it's less awkward.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. No. Definitely.
like listen.
Because but at that point it's funny.
Yeah. You're like this one time I dated this girl who did XYZ. Let's laugh about it. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Number 9, how much money you make.
Nah.
We've
I mean,
covered
again,
this in the
obviously, if it's a new
past.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. If it's new, then hey, respect everyone's privacy.
Yeah, but then I mean, if you guys are building a life together, then I think it's important that I'm trying to see who knows my side. How about, do you know how much I earn?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
You told me, unless you lied.
I told you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool. Sharp. Okay, cool. Moving on.
So if stars need to audit, they know who to contact.
Alright, do you think wait, so how many people need to know how much you earn? Do your parents know how much you earn? Out of curiosity.
Nah,
Okay.
they don't. Well, they did initially, but now
Stop telling
they
them.
don't.
Yeah, same. At some point I was like, hi. It's fine. Keep it a secret. Number 10. That you finished a TV show without them that you usually watch together. Mtogo said this is the
never.
one he fears the most when I sent this list to him earlier.
Now watch it again. I'll watch it again. And
He will
I'll
He will re-laugh
again,
and
bruh.
recall.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not, bruh. I think I did it once. I didn't even admit she saw. I think because like the thing started in the middle. I don't know what happened, and immediately she threw her toys out the pram and she said, "All right, fine." And so we get, bruh. Like,
You said, "Ansa?" How?
It's like, nah, I'm done. I'm not gonna watch. Clearly, you want to watch this thing on your own, right? So
How?
Like, no, like properly, like quietly, calmly, she removed herself from the situation. I'm like, no, yo, I didn't even finish the episode, So I was just like, no, like,
Hectic.
it's a no from me.
Yeah, no,
so
Shem.
don't-
You if you guys agree to watch something together, I think it's all about the experience. And then once someone watches something without you, go by a bit.
They see it as a proper betrayal.
Yeah, like oh, okay,
genuine
so
betrayal.
And it's honestly that's why a lot of people are like, let's go to the movies together instead of by themselves, because it's cool. Something long, and it's I don't know, it's a nice shared memory or shared experience that you have with your person. And if they watch that by themselves, or if you watch something by yourself, then
Yeah.
Side note, have you watched Clickbait?
Yeah, I have.
Hectic.
Didn't like the ending.
Didn't like it.
I didn't like the ending.
Why didn't you like it?
It was solid. If it's 8 episodes, the first 7 was solid. I just didn't like who it ended up being. I was just kind of like, I was very underwhelmed.
I don't know. I thought it was
Could have gone for
good mindfuck.
a better. Nah, it wasn't a mindfuck. It was just. It's not a mindfuck if you introduce brand new characters. You know what I mean? Like it's like at the end, would you always? You know what I mean? Like the whole time. The great thing about the series is that you are episode by episode. Lawa you're investigating with the is it the detective? Is it the kid? Is it this? Is it that? You know what I mean? Like you're doing all of this math in your own head as the audience to be like, who could it be? Like the easiest way to compare it. Remember when we used to watch Scooby-Doo, right?
Yeah.
As kids. It was great because the villain was always someone that you saw at the beginning. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so when they say, "Oh, it's Mr. Swanibani," like it was the guard who was helping them throughout the mystery. You know what I mean? Like, but if it's just the random guy from next door, for example, then it's like, okay, cool. It's underwhelming. So I was hoping it was someone that we had in the series. Imagine if it was like, the wife, for example. That would be mad.
Spoiler alert.
That would be like, I mean, okay, fine, it's not the wife, I'm sorry. Whatever, right? But like that's my thing.
Okay.
If it was one of those kind of, I prefer series like that.
Okay. No, I see.
But
It's a solid series
8
to
out
watch.
of 7 is
Anyone
yeah.
with a, who wants to watch it with someone, preferably, you should do it. It's a good experience. But that's it, Mr. Maps. That's all 10. Thank you so much to the listener for sending that through. We give thanks.
Yeah. I think that's it from our side. It went a bit longer than expected, but it is what it is. So, Mr. Moy, we can wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, guys, you know what it is. Like the ting, subscribe to the ting, retweet the ting. Otherwise, we are inclined to believe you're a hater. I know I got it wrong somehow, but you know what you must do, Mr. Moyo.
Laters, Mr. Maps. Laters.